clock, running, 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 running. Shot, clock, running, 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 running. Welcome to Shot Clock. If you come in my lane, you getting your shot blocked. Coach BuB on the mic, yeah, it's a hot spot. This is the podcast, tune into the broadcast. It might be a special guest, never know who gon' slide past. Got some topics to discuss while making the time pass. Let's talk about rap, let's talk about fashion, let's talk about sports, or what's the latest gadgets, and I ain't trying to brag. This right here the best show. Cross over, then lay 'em up with the left though. Let's go. You got the rock, time ticking, who willing?
Yo, it's your boy Coach BuB. We're on another episode of Shot Clock Podcast, and I got a very, 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 very special guest tonight. The legendary running back himself, Kevin Simmons. Dang up. What's up, baby?
Yeah.
Family in the building, man. So, we're gonna start off. I'm just gonna say, always long live D, do it for D.
Yes, sir.
And also, rest in peace, Bill Russell. Like, I just
yes,
seen
sir.
that today.
Legend.
So, all right, let's get started, man. So, we talking about your career and everything like that. But I want to start your freshman year at Lansdowne High School, right? What was that experience like, and how did that start to ground you in becoming the football player that you was going to become in the next 3 years?
Being with Lansdowne, I got the experience like y'all, D, the big dog. So Lansdowne was basically like my watch year, if that makes sense. So I got to watch how high school football was, because it's way different from what I was playing, rec ball, speed, size, and everything. So I think my freshman year, I didn't really play that much, but you know what I'm saying? That was my watch year, so that's what I did. I watched the whole, 12 games, the whole season.
Yeah. All right, so, and watching that, right, and as it transpires, like, that decision that, you ultimately would make to leave Lansdowne, like, is that brewing, like, during that year, or, like, what was the trigger that made you say, I think I gotta leave?
It wasn't even the fact that I had to leave, because I would have been there last time all 4 of my years. It was the fact that I got suspended for fighting. Okay. And when I tried to come back the last time, they wouldn't let me back. So that's when my mom was like, you know what, man, we got to find something. So my uncle, he was at, not necessarily my uncle, but it was like my family uncle, my little brother uncle, biological. And he, I think he had called my mom and told her that, look, we can get him at Kirksville. We're going to see what we're going to do. So I guess that's what it was. So it took some time, I was in the alternative school over there for a good little while, just trying to wait it out to see what we're going to do, because Lansdowne definitely won't let me back at all for one fight, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I ended up at Kirksville.
Okay. So during that run before you go to Kempsville though, like, what was that experience like? Like, we talk about like just the playoff run and just seeing, like you saying, some of the competition we played, like the Evan Roysters, the Sean Glennons, the Eddie Royals, and so forth and so forth. Ryan Pond, all of that.
Man, I got to feel, as far as the experience-wise, it was good just watching, but I feel like even if I didn't play physically, I played, I watched the greats. I know what it took to be like the best one out there. So I already knew the feeling before everybody else got there. So like the people that was coming after me, or the people that was in the same grade as me that probably played JV, because they wouldn't let me play JV. I played one game at JV, scored 6 touchdowns. The school officials called last time, told them I couldn't play JV no more. So it was almost like while everybody was playing JV, I was getting my head socked off in practice by y'all, D, Sawyer, and all them crazy. So it was like I was already playing, but I wasn't playing. You see what I'm saying? I was in the game, but I wasn't in the game.
Because
I was in practice.
I
was a scout team running back, so I knew what it was. So the next year, I was already prepared, my 10th grade year, to be great.
All right, so now you get to Kentsville, big dog. What's the
Not necessarily big dog when I first got there, because everybody was trying to figure out who I was and who was this new guy. Because everybody had I think I knew a couple guys like Whitehead, Terrell Whitehead. Who else I think I knew when I first got there? Elijah was there. He played with me rec ball.
Yes,
So them were probably the only 2 people I knew when I first got there. Everybody else, it was like, who was this new guy? So it was almost like McGowan still made me work. You see what I'm saying? I still had to work because McGowan really didn't know me, but he knew me. He knew me
because he had coached us.
He knew D, so he knew I was D little brother. So he knew me enough to know me. You see what I'm saying? So with McGowan, the type coach, it don't matter who you are, you can work. So I feel like I was a new guy, so I still had to work. So you gotta think about it, my sophomore year, the first 2 games I didn't start. I didn't start till my 3rd game at Kensfield. So that goes to show you that you're gonna work with McGowan and them over there. So that's how it was.
So, all right, we at Kentfield and you starting to work. So is it initially you come in, you starting, or is it one of those things where
I think
just the work you put in camp, like we know what time it is?
No, it was. I think it was was it the Kelvin game? I think we was losing 21-0. The Kelvin game. I think after halftime, McGowan was like, "Look, we about to switch this lineup up." Like, Daniel, you going there, you starting the second half, so you going. I think the first possession we went down and scored. It was 21-7 at this point, and then I think we got a turnover. I scored again the second time, so now we 21-14. And I think that's it. From that game on, I was the starter, initially the starter.
Okay. And I mean, that was you had a hell of a year. I mean, what, 19 touchdowns?
I think 19.
1,400.
No, I think I had 16. I think I won. It was me and Scotty McGee for the
rushing title.
Yeah, I think it came down to the last game. I think and whoever had the most yards that last game, who won it. So I think I had probably like, and it was crazy. We played Ocean Lakes that last game in the rain. It was a rainstorm. First time, I think he had like 30 yards. I think he had like 30 yards. I probably had like 180. So it was just, yeah, in the rain. Like, it was definitely pouring down rain at Kensfield.
So you come in as a sophomore. You win the rushing title. 19 touchdowns. And I read something that said in your first 2 seasons, you had 36 touchdowns, and 25 of them was for 50 or more.
Definitely. And what's crazy, I think my first 2 seasons, I missed a couple games. Well, we're gonna wait till we get there for my senior year, which is crazy. But yeah, most of mine was home runs. Like, I was so big on it, I got to get this home run. McGowan used to be like, you know what, it's gonna come.
And what was it because you aren't a physically big person, like when we look at a running back, so you felt like I gotta hit the home run, or you know?
It wasn't that I was big. McGowan would tell you the same thing. Wilson would tell you something like, bro, I wasn't big as nothing, but I ran big. It was almost like, you get in my way, you gonna get ran over at 175. That's just what it was with me. It was like, bro, it don't matter. He can juke you or he gonna run through you. I always played like I was 205, but I really was 175. So that what people were so scared of me, because I won't ducking no wreck whatsoever. It's like, you either gonna be right here or you gonna get juked up. That's what it was to me.
Okay. So that's the year. Is that so? Your sophomore year, right? Is this the year that y'all had to flip the coin?
No, that's my junior year. That was my junior year.
For the playoffs.
That was my junior year.
Okay.
That was my junior year.
So after your sophomore year, what was y'all record?
No, that might be it. Hold on.
Yeah,
I went 8. No, that was my sophomore year.
Yeah, because that was my senior year.
Yeah, that was the year.
You flipped with
Selma. No, Selma.
Selma.
That's what made them play Austin Smith, which that was my sophomore year. Yup.
Okay.
And then we went 8-2 my junior year again.
And then make playoffs.
And then made the playoffs again.
See, and let's talk about that for a little bit, because
8-2 don't.
You fast forward now, 8-2 gonna get you to host a playoff game now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And D6 at that.
You might be like a 3 seed now at 8-2.
8-2.
You know what I'm saying? Versus back then, like, only 4 teams was making the playoffs, man.
And you had to be either 9-1, 10-0, or 8. Not even 8-2. You either had to be 10-0 or 9-1.
Yeah.
That was it.
Like, just different times and just a different playoff structure.
Right.
Okay, so you get successful. You know what I'm saying? You lead the area in rushing, you know, the accolades, all tied with all these different things, right? So you're going to your junior year now. What's your mentality? Like, is it like, these motherfuckers can't stop me now? Like, I know.
I feel like I feel like that's how I was at Lansdowne, but I feel like I didn't get a fair shot at Lansdowne, and that's what it is. I mean, I feel like I couldn't be stopped at Lansdowne, but
why do you think you didn't get a fair shot at Lansdowne?
Not necessarily. I feel like I should have got an equal shot as D. I feel like I should have got an equal shot as Arlo. I feel like if you look at it now, you feel like, hey,
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean,
they fumbled
back.
me.
Yeah, they fumbled back.
For not giving me a chance, and that we see that all the time. That's why these kids transfer.
because it's the notion that he a freshman, he gotta wait his turn.
I think that's what it was.
You know what I'm saying? Or you just better come in that bitch and be Percy to really be a freshman to get that chance.
So let's look at it. If you was a coach, if you was a coach, let's put yourself in baby shoes up here.
Okay.
You had DVR, you had Arlo, you had me, you had Ty. You gave D a chance, you gave Arlo a chance, you probably gave Tiger what it is.
What the carries that he could get.
Then it come to me. Not even a scrimmage, not even the games where we was beating people 80-0.
Because then that's when Tiger would get all those.
Look at the situation now.
Looking at hindsight, yeah.
I don't feel like I got a chance like those guys, and I feel like me personally, I'm confident. I feel like as a running back, I feel like I was better than them. Probably not at the time. I don't think so, because at the end of the day, I still was 14. Them guys was 17, 18 at the end of the day. I feel like Betty should at least gave me a chance to see what I could do. It was never there as a freshman. Nowadays, if you look at football, high school football now, the coaches now, they're different. Because you know why? They're going to take that freshman. I want to see what he can do. I already know what the senior can do. Let me go see what this ninth grader can do right quick.
Because if he's just as good as the freshman,
I'm going to play both.
I got to play him.
I got to play him. Because I got 4 years. I got 4 years of him.
Yeah.
I got 4 years of him. So let me see what this freshman can do. I feel like they never gave me a chance to. I don't know why. I don't know. But I was never given the opportunity to even, hey, he ain't ready. How would you know that? How would you know that?
So, is that chip always on your shoulder? Because you felt like I was somewhere and they...
The only time it's on my chip when every year them record books come out and the third is like, motherfucker, I could have been right there. You got to think about it. Kevin Whaley's played for... If you look at all the people... If you look at all the people...
They all played 4 years. They all started
exactly
4 years.
my point. If you look at that record book and you see all them people that's in front of me...
Because he even had a G his freshman year.
Who's Zeus? Yeah, he definitely did. He had 1,100. If you look at all them people that's in front of me, they played all 4 years. And I went too far behind them in 3 years. Zeus probably had me he didn't even have me about 1,000 yards. It was still probably close, probably like 600. That's the only time there's a chip on me when I look like, yo, that could have been me, but it is what it is. It is what it is.
We often had a debate about
who the best.
But I say you, and maybe I'm biased because I said once again, I saw you every day.
Right. Yeah.
Like so, as a freshman, we seen it. We was like, yo, this
and that's my whole thing.
Like you know
that's
what I'm saying? Because you would pop shit on that and be like,
that's my whole thing. Like Beatty used to see in practice. I ain't scared of nobody. I won't scared of no. Bro, you gotta think about it. Ain't too many people can keep getting hit by DVR, can keep getting hit by Sawyer. Y'all, who can keep getting hit by them every practice? Man? Yeah. And come out there and still talk shit to them and still not be scared of them, bro. Every practice, bro. Like every practice we getting lit up on them. Every practice. And D ain't one of the ones. Be like, yo, D had a shitty practice today. Sawyer had a shitty practice today. They play practice like games, bro. It was like games out there, bro. You seen it, bro. Every time it was time to hit, it was dust kicking up out there, bro. You seen it, bro. Sure. They didn't play, bro. These kids, they were like, bro, it's practice, it's just practice. No, Ian Sawyer treated practice like games, bro. They was kicking up dirt when they come to hit you, bro. That's what people don't understand. And I feel like Beatty seen that and still didn't give me a chance. I don't know what it was. I don't know.
So, now, the junior year, the man, but you still kind of number 2.
As far as what?
To Zeus.
No, not at this time. I'm in front of Zeus at this time.
Okay.
His freshman year was, no, I was still in front of Zeus my junior year. I ain't started getting behind Zeus until my senior year.
When I started getting hurt. A year behind you, right?
Yeah, year behind
me. That's right.
So I didn't get start getting behind him until my senior year when I started getting injured and I got hurt. So that's when. So my junior year, I'm still big dogging around here.
Okay.
As far as like Virginia Beach and like just the South Hampton roads, I'm still big dog. My what happened? I don't know why we didn't go to the playoffs that year. We went 8-2.
We went 8-2 again.
See what I'm saying?
So let's fast forward to a game that I love, right? Because we on your sophomore year, right? It's hype. Y'all undefeated. There's a lot of hype going on. You know what I'm saying? Another school in the city. Another city. Schools in the city that could possibly
10,000 people there.
10,000 people.
Everybody's there in the world there. I think. Hold on.
Let's set the stage.
Let's rewind.
Okay.
We got to go back to the week before that game. The week of that game. Like, you know, D just.
Yeah. So yeah.
How was it like?
How is the house like with this big?
It's crazy. You know what's crazy? And people ask me that all the time, bro. You don't talk about the game not one time that week. That's crazy, bro. And people,
but it's gotta be in the back of both. No, I'm not saying you talked about it. But in the back of y'all minds, it's gotta be eating y'all alive, and it's gotta be.
It did. Y'all probably did. It probably did. I think D was more. It was on D mind more than mine. It was almost like
because here's the thing.
He can't let his little brother.
He can't let little brother.
That's the thing.
Put in work. There's no pressure on you. You're not supposed to win.
Exactly.
It's Lansdowne. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so I think the pressure was more on D than me. So it's almost like this motherfucker ain't saying that. Is he nervous? I know he ain't nervous. I know he gonna come play, but he ain't saying nothing. He ain't. I'm gonna knock your head off. I'm gonna do this. He ain't saying none of this. It's a regular, everyday thing. What we got going on in the crib.
He was talking so much shit in practice.
He won't say nothing.
All right, now let's say
even when I think we did an article together that we.
I remember, the article.
We still was talking. Yeah.
So how was mom during the week? Because it's like she torn. Like,
I think she only asked me was I ready. I don't think she asked me.
Because and her heart kind of gotta be like, I want baby boy to, you know what I'm saying?
So I think she just kept asking me. I don't think she ever asked D was he ready at all. If she did, it was not around me. Or if she probably did, she asked both of us why we want each other around. So I think that's what it was. So I think she never really asked us both. She never really asked both of us why we was together. So I think she asked me, was I ready? Am I ready? That's right. The biggest game of my life. Am I ready?
Was you ready?
Was I ready? So I guess the day of the game, I don't think I talked to my mom the day of the game. D, I don't think I talked to him neither the day before the game. I think, but
did y'all know she was gonna wear the half?
No.
The half shirt?
No, but you know what's crazy? At every game, I know my mom's sitting there. I know where she's gonna be at. But this game, she wasn't there.
Okay.
She was on the track down there. I seen her.
Because she couldn't sit on.
She couldn't sit. So when we were in warm-ups, I know my mom. I know how she look. You know your mom.
Yeah, for sure. Every game I found my mom.
I'm just scoping the scene out. All them people, I found my mom underneath the scoreboard. So when I scored, you see why I ran that way and not to my sideline. My mom was standing where I ran. As you see, if you go look at where I ran after I scored, I ran that way instead of that way. My mom was at the end of the western lane right there. That's what I was running to. My mom was standing right there. Going crazy.
All right, so look, so now let's talk about the building. Like, so we talked about the article, the house, like the nerves and everything.
Getting to the game.
Then we get to the game, and you come out of your locker room.
Y'all
was
talking.
It's 10,000 people there.
D was talking so much shit.
He talking shit. I'm talking shit. We all talking shit.
I go to the 50.
We still looking at it like, man,
it was warm ups. I think because I came out last. I don't know why they had me back there. I think it was putting extra tape on me. I come out the last one while the team was still out there. I was in the locker room. I come out last, and when I was coming on underneath the, you know how Kentfield is. Y'all got to come out of the thing. We come around. Mm-hmm. I heard D or somebody. I don't know if it's D, but it sounded like D. I heard somebody say, "Where number 3 at?" But remind you, I'm walking behind the bleachers, and I can hear them yelling at the team. So I was walking out. So when I get on the field, I go right to the 50. It's like, y'all right here. What's up?
Yeah.
Here we y'all go. All y'all start walking towards me, talking all that big boy shit. And that was it. My guy was like, "Let's go warm up."
Wrote a check. I asked good cash. So look. Let's. Hey, Poop, you my nigga. I love you, but boy.
What's up, man?
So this the call now. We know y'all gonna run that inside run.
That draw.
You know what I'm saying? We knew it was coming, right?
Right. It was Rob calling.
So we call Rike to Finn. Finn because we walked D up. D was blitzing.
Right.
Rike was supposed to come and replace D,
which
and replace the linebacker. No, but he filled it outside. He went Fox. He ran Fox.
And I went right where
so when he ran Fox, it was nobody there.
I went right where he posed him.
I can't scrape from there and get over to that. And it's obvious.
That was it. I seen exactly how he came down.
And when you hit that shit, and I looked, and then I seen P couldn't catch your ass.
It was
I said, man, what the fuck? The first play of the game?
That shit.
I know everybody like, oh, they about to beat last time. I know y'all was
amped. No. We was amped, but there was no way with Percy out there.
So when you broke the joint though, like, what was that feeling like? Like, just I know that had to just feel like, yo, this is like some movie shit.
At that time, I think the drilling was going, so that shit was all over the place at this time. So when I was running, I was like this. I know these motherfuckers fast than them motherfuckers.
You think about don't get caught?
Don't get caught. Don't get caught.
Because
I probably won't get this chance again if I get caught. Because you see the next time when I
get
got
to the next one when you
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But my whole mind when I was running, don't get goddamn caught. These motherfuckers is coming. Sometimes you can hear like the next time I heard the coming behind me, but this time I said this shit was clear as day.
Yeah, first one was 81.
It was clear as day.
It was 80 something. So you popped that one. So oh my god, like I can't remember the cuss out we got from Rob after that one. But so you popped that one. Then later in the game,
right,
you catch that swing route.
Now I'm gonna tell you how
it was a pass.
No,
was it a swing route?
Yeah,
I knew it was a pass.
No, it definitely was a busted play.
No, but it was a pass though.
It was
like
a
he
pass.
threw it to you.
He threw it.
Yeah.
But the play was busted. It shouldn't have nothing to do with me. But what I'm saying is, McGowan calling in the huddle. He was like, Percy about to come backside. He's been blitzing backside.
Yeah, he's running cowboy.
He was blitzing backside. I think McGowan had called the timeout the play before that. And he was like, yo, Percy gonna come hot. Definitely gonna come hot. So whatever you gonna do, well, I think it was I think it's something supposed to went to the tight end. I don't know if he didn't. He stayed and blocked and then go out. I don't know what it was. So the play was so busted. So Rodney was about to take off running, and what I did was I just took off. And when I took off, he threw it to me. It didn't have nothing to do with me. That play didn't have nothing to do with me at all. So when he started to roll my way, I'm going to block. So when he raised the ball, I knew he was coming to me. I just caught the one and dipped. Mind you, now I done got the ball 4 plays before that. I'm tired, cuz why you even throw it to me?
That still was out of 940.
That was about 62.
60.
So I get
light flex.
Listen, go look at it. Go look at it on the jump. So look, so I get the jump right. I start running, boy. Boy, I tell you, I ain't gonna hold y'all. I heard them. That's the only reason I got caught, because I heard them. If I didn't hear them, I probably wouldn't have got caught, because I would have ran faster. I heard them. You know, you hear somebody digging. They make noise. You just not about to, you digging, you're not about to make noise. Mm-hmm. I heard him. So if you look on, I got it on my phone. If you look on the jump, you see me like this, because I hear him now. Mm-hmm. If you look at the video, I got it on my phone. You look at the video, you can see me looking back, because I heard him. So that's how he ended up grabbing my shirt, because I looked back twice, because I heard him. I had to make sure that was his ass, but it was him, bro. Then I see slam me on the ground and try to hug me, cuz. Like, man, get off me, cuz. You didn't talk to me all week, cuz. You see what I'm saying? You didn't talk to me all week, then get out here.
That was him, Big Bro.
You see it.
That was Big Bro.
You can see that.
Without even slight, yeah.
So you see me push him off of me a little bit, and you see what I'm saying? Like, you ain't talked to me all week, cuz. Trying to hug me after you done slapped me.
He slapped you hard.
And that one play got hurt, was it?
No. This is the next play. I think LB got me decently too.
Yeah,
hey LB, I owe you. Hey LB, I owe you for that one too.
Because I remember after that one, and then that's when D picked you up.
Yeah,
that was just like that was a moment. Like
yeah, LB got me that time.
Yeah, that was a moment. So yeah, I mean we end up
smoking our boots.
We're not kicking your ass. I think Ryan blocked the kick or some shit. G might have blocked the kick.
Blocked the
that was his first game back.
It was a field goal.
Yep.
He blocked the field goal.
It was a field goal.
And scored.
Yeah.
It was a field goal. Yeah. After that, the game was all over. But I mean, if you think about it, if you look at the lineup as far as Kentville and Lansdowne on paper, we already had lost on paper.
Yeah, but y'all still put up like what 28?
20. Yeah, we already lost on paper. It's almost like, for instance, like example, we'll get back on topic, but example, every Mayweather fight, you got to think about it, he already up. You got to knock him out and beat him, bro. In order for us to beat y'all, we have to knock y'all out. That won't happen. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got
It
you.
won't happen. Like I said, on paper, Lansdowne, y'all think about it. Every game that year, the game y'all won state champions, I mean, the year y'all won state champions, every game on paper, black and white, y'all already was up 28-0. Mama got to come in there and score 40-something points to beat y'all, bro. Who did that?
Smith, I never said it.
Exactly, bro. You
39,
got
39.
You got to get 40 to beat
39.
Lansdowne, or you're not going to beat them, bro.
Right.
That's considered the knockout that you need, or you're not going to beat them. Anything less than 40, you ain't even going to come close. Not going to come close to beating them. Y'all guaranteed 40. Easy. Easy, because P going to give you 28 points by himself. That's just what it is, bro. He going to give you 28 points by himself.
Like, just to, we're gonna go get back. We'll get into your senior year and all that, right? But what is it like to be in the house with somebody? Like, because a lot of us, you don't get to see these athletes that we talk about sometimes and like really see it.
The
You know what I'm saying?
lifestyle outside of football.
But for you to actually live with, I mean, we talking about somebody that was the number 3 linebacker in the country, and it's your brother.
Right.
Like, so what is that like? Like, watching that, coming behind that, like, does that motivate? Does that make you the running back you are?
It do, but when we at the crib, bro, what's crazy? We don't talk about football, bro. We really never talk about football, bro. That's crazy. It's crazy how our family's so football oriented. Everybody can boo, but we really never talked about football in the house for some reason. I don't know. It was almost. I think it's more of a thing that we don't really talk about it. Let's be about it. So when you stuck, it ain't really too much to talk about with us. It's almost, you know what you got to do. You know what time it is. When you step on that green and strap them cleats up, it's time to go. So I think that's what it was, because you know, really, he ain't really about to talk too much. He about to hit you in your mouth. You see what I'm saying? He ain't really about to talk all that crazy rah-rah to you unless you see what I'm saying? He gonna hit you in the mouth. So I think we don't really. My mom might say something here and there, but as far as like having a conversation, hey, let's sit in the kitchen or let's chill in the living room and talk about football. So the only time we really talked about football is when the Redskins Cowboys played. Because I'm a Cowboys fan, he a Red. That's the only time. But if you talk about
It's the only person I ever wore this jersey.
that shit hard, man. Take that shit.
Africa, I wear it for my dog.
Hey, but so look, that's the only time it's really football talk, because my mom was a Redskin fan too. But me and my little brother, we Cowboy fans. That's the only time football talk is talked in the crib, is when them weak ass Redskins play the Cowboys.
Cold Nation.
Yeah, Cowboy Nation 5 stars. Hey, but look, yeah, that's the only time.
Yeah.
That's definitely the only time we talk really football
That's-
when the Cowboys.
And that's crazy because
That's what I'm
when we
saying.
start talking about
But if you,
some of these football families around the area, I mean, like, y'all right up there now. We can debate however you want to put which but we talking about Simmons, we talking about Mitchells,
right.
we talking about the Hymans, like
Right.
we talking about some of these different families where it was just like, yo, they ballers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that
So,
helped.
if
And,
y'all not-
and what's so crazy, and I think another reason why, because if you really look at it, D ain't really started playing organized football until his 9th grade year. He couldn't make the weight, bro. D ain't play a real organized game until his 9th grade year, bro.
Yeah.
He was always too big. So this, basically, D 9th grade year was his first time. He played football, but not no organized game like where it's like, he practiced with us, he played in scrimmages, but when it was time for the referees, he just played till his 9th grade year, bro. He couldn't make the weight, he never made the weight. So 9th grade was his first year, bro. Crazy, right?
Okay, so moving into your senior year, right? This the year you get hurt.
Y'all don't know what's crazy though.
What's
I
that?
did get hurt in the scrimmage, but look, people don't never say this, but I got in some little trouble, right?
Okay.
I got in some story beside my family.
We got a first on the Shot Clock podcast.
So look, right?
Exclusive.
Hey, look. So look, right? I did get hurt in the Great Bridge scrimmage, right? So what it was I got in a little trouble with the guys I was hanging with, right? And I had went to court. I think it was that Tuesday, Wednesday. Mind you, I was in high school. The judge had sentenced me to 2 days. Listen what I'm saying. The game was pushed. I had to do. Listen. the game had rained. The game got rained out. So my mom was trying to push to give me weekends, right? So the judge was like, okay, we can do the weekends. The game got pushed to a Saturday. They counts the game to a Saturday. So in order for me, so we tried to write letters back to the judge and get the judge, hey, look, he got a game on Saturday. Nah, the judge won't go on for it. He's like, no, he's going to do those weekends. So that's why I missed the games, because I had to do the weekends. I was hurt too, but that's the reason. I would have still played them.
Okay.
If I would have
injured, you were.
If I would have did those 2 days, which was Tuesday and Wednesday, but my mom and everybody in there was like, can't he do it on the weekend and get it out the way? The judge was like, okay, we can agree with that. He played football. So what it was it was a badass storm where it rained, and they pushed the game back to Saturday. And I missed the first game at Ocean Lakes and we lost. After that, the season won't never work. That's my senior year, bro. But I still was hurt. I still probably would have played hurt, because that's just who I am. But that's the reason why I missed the first game. So y'all only gonna hear that here. I ain't gonna tell that story no more.
Damn. All along we thought you were hurt. But
I was hurt, but I still probably would have played like I played the other games, like I played the next game. But that's what it was.
I remember you had to do weekend.
The judge, and it was that rainstorm that pushed it back to the weekends. Man, I was sick in there, boy. I had called home. I think I called, bro, after the game, because it was a 1 o'clock. I think I called at 3. Mom told me lost. Now I slept the rest of the day in that month. Everybody slept the rest of the day. I was so mad, man. And we just couldn't get back on track after that, man. We ended up going 4-6 that year.
damn. So what is that like? Think about it. You went from going 13-1, and losing state championship.
8-2.
8-2 successful, you know what I'm saying? Great years. And then your senior year, you go 4-6.
Well, I look at after a certain point, though, man, like my senior year, I was like, you know what, this ain't the team. This ain't the team like the years prior, so I felt like, you know what, this time I gotta do me. But you think about it, if you look at my senior year, that was my best year. I ran for like 1,700. So my senior year was my best year, so I figured like, you know what, this ain't the team like the 8-2 team, the other 8-2 team, or the 13-1 team. So you like, McGowan just, you know what, I'm gonna get me. Yeah, that's what it was. I mean, we ain't really had that much up, but you give me the ball. So that's what my senior year was like, basically just making sure number 3 get his.
Yeah. So what happens coming out of your senior year? Because I read some things, and you had a lot of offers. I know I read Ohio State was really high on your list, and NC State.
Right.
So what happens during that process?
You know what's so crazy about the recruiting process? I'm gonna tell you about a coach. You probably don't coach now. The Virginia Tech coach came in, Coach Steinspring.
Springs.
See, so
the University of Delaware now.
Hey, Steinspring probably the realest coach. I think the realest recruiting coach ever around here. He came in the office. McGowan had came in there. Coach Steinspring was in there, and they had I think they had my grades and stuff on the board and stuff like that. And the first thing Coach Steinspring said, this is my 10th grade year now. Grades are shitty. Like, bro, these your grades? He looked at me like, these your grades? I'm like, boy, them shit shitty. But we're gonna offer you though. Listen what he said. He said, but we're gonna offer you though. I'll be back at the end of your junior year. He came back. He's like, bro. But he was coming back. I think he was coming back to look at Whitehead or something like that.
Fuller.
I think Whitehead and Fuller. I think it was 2 other
Fuller
people.
ended up going to UVA, right?
Yep. Yeah. He was like, mind you, man. He was like, bro, it ain't nothing I can do with that, bro. There's nothing I can do with that. Nothing. I can't even try to pull no strings with that. That shit is horrible. These exact words, bro. Like, that shit is horrible, bro. And it's so horrible for a kid like you that can play. And then after that, but Tech still, I think the offer was still there for Tech because he been offered it, but it wasn't like I could have committed to them because the grades was horrible. So moving forward, McGowan was like, you know what? I got a selection. I can try to get him in JUCO, which was in Ohio, and let's see what he can do out there. I went to JUCO probably about 2 years, but I ain't really played out there. The JUCO was in Ohio, West Cincinnati, Ohio. Shit was the trenches for real. You had to walk to school, bro. There weren't no school buses, no nothing. You had to walk every day, probably about a mile and a half to school. It wasn't that bad, but it was only bad when it was snowing outside, when you gotta be at school. But when I get there, it was alright. I ain't really know nobody. They ain't really know me. They just knew I was a kid from Virginia. So they ain't really, he's just a regular kid. You gotta think about it. I think I was like a 3-star. You know, I don't really care. Back then, no 3-stars didn't mean nothing. You had to be a 4 or 5 to be that big shit. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So they didn't really care about me out there, but they did because I was there. That's just more money for them for the school. But I got out there, probably played a little bit. These people moved me to receiver out there, slot receiver. You gotta think about it now. And it makes sense though, because the running backs they did have, every last one of them was probably about 215.
That's Claret and all them dudes. Shit.
No, this is not Ohio State now.
Okay.
This
I know,
JUCO.
JUCO, I'm just saying.
But it's in Ohio, so you know, you go up north, them kids are they big. They some big football. They pound. They ain't really passing up north, bro. They pound time. So probably the running backs, the smallest running back we had on that JUCO was probably about 210. I come over there at 175. What they gonna do with me? You got to run it back 210, the same speed as me. What you gonna do? Cause you know, think about it. If you line me up in the 40, I ain't fast at all. I'm only fast when I got the ball. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So then we got there. I feel like I called my guy. I was like, bro, they got me a wide out. This ain't really working out. He was like, you know what? Just get your grades and get your grades up and do what you got to do, and so you can get out of there. So I had got my grades up, did what I had to do. And I think I had to, they said I didn't have enough credits or something for college for the Division I. You see what I'm saying? And that shit is like, you know what? That shit just drained me. You see what I'm saying? It's like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm gonna call them on and see what I can do, come back there. So that's how I got back to Virginia, and then I started taking classes at TCC. You see what I'm saying? That shit was draining, like real draining. Like, it was a lot, man. JUCO, I'm telling you, I went. Me personally, I went. I don't know. Certain JUCOs are different, but the one I went to is just like, man, that shit. It's a lot. It's a lot, and I ain't telling no kid not to go to JUCO. But what I'm saying is, you just gotta read. You gotta read the fine print before you tell a kid to go there for sure. Because I'm telling you, these coaches will come in there and tell you this, that, and when you get there, I'm telling you, it's a whole nother ball game once you arrive in them. It ain't what they told you it was gonna be. And that's just what it is.
So, fast forward. Now, like, you know what I mean, we talk about it, like you said, your grades weren't what it should be, you know what I'm saying, you left, you know what I'm saying, you came back, and started taking class at TCC, to now, where you are the father of a high school athlete,
Right.
Middle school athletes, like, I mean, just, great kids, like,
Right.
Put us into that mode, and, how do we get there? Because I know that's a maturity and a long process.
As far as like being a dad, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I got this thing where my son, I always tell him all the time, man, like, as far as like mistake wise, like I tell him all the time, mistakes.
Yeah, we'll start.